What's up, guys? The show will be officially starting at 7. I'm excited for you guys to see it. It should be good. All right. I made it, though. Oh, man. Is offended. This better be good or I'm going to dislike the video. Oh, it'll be good. We're going to have a few guests on in a little bit here. Waiting for everybody to show up. Everybody gets here around 7, 7:15, so it's the pre-show. I'm going to show, like, all right, so I'm trying to decide what's the best thing to do. Yeah, bro. Also, Making Moves Major, what's up, my boy? Good to see you, man. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. I had a dope beat to step to. But anyway, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, this book, I can read it to you while we wait. But I do have probably one. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. I have a reaction I want to do with people. I'm gonna have everybody live when they get here, and we'll do it all together. It should be pretty freaking dope. All right, this is how to scam. I literally bought the book because I felt like whoever made it was pretty industrious, and I'm like, my G, this book is hilarious. All right, so how to scam. Yeah, man. I was like, yo, let me support the arts. You know, I'm an artsy dude. I do what I do, man. You know. Oh my gosh, I had a pimple on my nose. I just thank God there's not growing back. Yo, let's get it. You put on my glasses to read this, yo. I'm gonna teach you how to scam. Yeah, yeah. Hey yo, welcome to the show. I am the one who does it. They call me Chris Sander. I'm getting heavily buzzing. Yeah. Are you offended by this? Are you offended by me? It's called I can't even show it to you. How to scam and make lots of money. All right. And before I start sending this out, I gotta start sending this out to the socials so people know what's going on. Appearance is not just about clothes. It applies to anything the person you are about to scam will see, including the following: hair, shoes, website, right? Basically tell you to be or look genuine. Okay? And actually, what's funny about that is that that's actually a good step when you're scamming people, because people have to believe in who you are and what you're presenting. They have to actually think that you are something that you're not, probably, right? If you're scamming them. Okay? So, example. I think a really good scam, to be honest with you, which I am actually working on this kind of content, by the way. You guys don't know this. I'm working on another channel. I gave this idea the other day called The Job Seeker, where I walk you guys through the steps I take to get jobs. I'm getting a lot of jobs in the last few years, and they're all kind of strategically interwoven. And one of the things that I personally really do dig into is you kind of have to scam with how you present yourself, because you know that you're not really gonna be all buttoned up every day. You're probably not wearing pants when you're at work most of the time, right? But when you go to your interview, you wear your suit, you wear your tie, you might even put on glasses so you look smarter. I do it all the time. I'll enter every interview wearing glasses, and I'll start it like these aren't even prescription, but and I have prescriptions though too. But I will start them with, all right, so I want to make sure I look presentable. I want to make sure that I look attractive, or I look like someone that they want to hire. So I immediately go into this whole like different persona. You guys saw me interview that one. I did an interview once live on the stream. And I straight up was just going to interview. I'm like, hi, I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. All right, that's awesome. And indeed, I think that if you really do tear down the paradigm, it makes the most sense. I don't talk like that. That's a scam, bro. It's a freaking scam. You know what I mean? What up, David Chris? I feel like all the Chris's are here. Y'all, you have no idea how excited I am for tonight's show. You have no idea how excited I am for tonight's show. I need to keep my phone up because people are actually going to start showing around 6:45, 7, and we'll just jump right into it. We'll greet and talk to everybody. It'll be my two friends, Alex. Oh, no, I got to do crap. I forgot. I do want to do, okay, I'm going to do this one thing while you guys are on the stream. This is going to be great, guys. This is what we're going to react to. Just going to give you guys a preview what's going on. Give us a peek at the new content. I can't do it yet, but I will show you something cool that I did, though. What's up with this view, though? What do you mean this view? The upper view? This view will be for when I have people in the room. It's better for me, quite frankly, for having multiple guests. I'll figure it out eventually. I want to set up a better set, or at least lay it out better. But for right now, this works. Plus, I do have, and people, don't judge me on this, but I do have a zoom in camera, so I can zoom in as much as possible. I can zoom in and get it tight or not tight. I'm gonna direct everybody to kind of try to be like about here, and because we have to look at this screen for all the chat, it'll be easy. So I'm gonna have the chat. Actually, that's a good point to have the chat on the screen. I can run Twitch usually because Twitch is a little bit more one-on-one when I do full screen on this TV. But we'll run like this. We'll have the whole thing here. We'll see ourselves. We'll see everybody talking to us. So that'll be the way it's gonna work. But yeah. So this should be good. No, different crew. I tried to get my sister on, but she had something to do. She said she'll try to come on the next one though. We're gonna figure it out. But yeah, this should work out pretty well. So everything will be on the full screen. It'll happen in real time as I see it on Twitch. But it still should be a pretty good show. I do think always you made a good point at one point about me, and I think you're right. Maybe get people on the couch. So I'm gonna try to figure that out on the next one. I have a few topics. So I want to start off with the thing we're gonna react to, as I already mentioned before. And then I'll read out what I got here. They don't know this, okay? They don't know anything. They're not part of it. So I've got, let me actually remove this real quick. Sorry, got a piece here. So I do want to start with something from the new content piece always. I do want to start with Are Women Really Crazy? I want to get a reaction from the female that'll be here. And then I want to do, does AI give you the ick? Because I had a thing where I was working on this project to try to create an AI facsimile of myself. And it creeped me out too much to look at the generated images. Like I was like feeling weird. I think right because I know it's not natural, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. So I want to get other people's opinions on that. I can't even pull up AI imagery without feeling really icky. I mean, it feels awful to me. I don't know why either. It's strange. But I also have I want to do a discussion on red pill theory. I haven't done that in a while, but I want to get that kind of simmering up for people's conversations. Double standard, Ezra Miller versus Jonathan Majors. Talking about Riz, what makes someone charismatic. The writer's strike. And really for me, the writer's strike piece is interesting because I feel like every show takes off, right? But I feel like only people who are not actually good at comedy need to do that. Like I feel like you have like a Jimmy Fallon, he can't do his show. But Conan O'Brien, when the writer's strike happened last time, did an excellent show just being witty. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, and then anything you guys want to bring up. Oh, also, biggest dating red flags. You got to pick 3. Make everybody pick 3. But it should be fun. Yo, can I tell you something though? I might even make this. I might even make this a call-in show now. As you said that. Well, let me set that real quick. I want to set up 2 things real quick because I'm getting. All right, this is one thing I want to announce to you guys at least. So this is real. I decided I'm gonna switch over my schedule. Oop, door buzzer. All right, I'm switching over my schedule. We got the first guest here already. I'm changing my schedule a little bit so that essentially, I'm going to stream only on 1 day a week going forward. That's my thought. 1 day a week. That's one thing about. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting. All right, I can't wait to talk about it when we get into the show. When we get into the discussion with everybody else. So I'm gonna start streaming 1 day a week only, or really officially, rather, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna start the show officially, where I have like a big show at night. So I won't be doing it during lunch anymore. I'm gonna do it between the hours of 6:30 and like 9 p.m. ish. You know what I mean? Give or take. And just have like a whole show built out around that. and continue to build on that. All right, we got our first guest here. Give me 1 second. Ugh. Prepping everybody in the chat for what's gonna happen. You can pick your spot. I'll say here.
Is it already going?
Huh?
It's already going.
It's already on. Yep. I can mute the mic if you want us to say something that you don't want to say.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now people know what you're doing. It's weird.
Yeah.
And now I can see you. All right. Also, guys, give me notes on the audio quality. If the audio isn't very good, or if anyone in particular can't be heard, let me know. They'll help me out a lot, for sure. So one thing I want to do is with the whole mentioning of the show from 6 on, is the reason why I want to do that is because I want to get people used to a regular cadence of me and not like I can see me if I want to. So I'm actually going to go and put some effort into my into my Twitch setup, and then I'm going to also just regularly promote, and then I'm going to get back into a cadence, which with the news content coming up, of having a regular drop every single video to get people over to Twitch. Because one thing I read about reading how to grow on Twitch is you can't grow organically on Twitch, really. You have to bring an audience from somewhere else in order for it to work. So I want to just get in that direction, basically. But let me show you something I made. I think I already showed this to always on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you're probably already saw this too. Give me 1 sec. Let me pull it up. But I'm pretty pumped about it. I did some tweaking. That's my dad. Let's see, media. Is it media? It's gonna be media. There we go. So, yeah, kill this music for a second. I'll show you guys what I made. All right. We'll do window capture 6. Okay. And you guys see a very large screen right now. There's my name on it. That's not what we're doing. Let's make it easier when Alex gets here. All right. So I'm just gonna block the screen for a second. So this is what I made. It looks creepy. Oh God, it freaks me out. This is what I mean by AI give me the ick. All right, so I made a fake version of myself, and what I'm doing here. Yeah, I completely generated this using all AI, and it creeps me out.
Hey everyone, it's Chris, and I'm happy to announce that starting today, every single Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central, we're going to be doing a live show on both YouTube and Twitch. Now you can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/motivation. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/csandreas. It's just that easy. You want to join us for the most real, fun, raw, ridiculous, and entertaining live show you will ever attend. And I promise you, it is the best you'll ever attend. Join us every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central. I'll say it again. That's Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central on Twitch and YouTube. Join me.
Yeah, it's a little bit off because it picks up. I think the audio picks up the beat for whatever reason. So that's.
Hey everyone, it's Chris, and I'm happy to announce that starting today.
Shut up. So I did 2 of them. And this is one that came out better than the other one, but it's still not perfect. So, now you know. Let's see. All right, let me go back to that.
Is it supposed to look like you?
Not really. I wasn't trying very hard.
Okay.
I was like, I just wanted a black guy. I want a bald black man. That's all I wanted. So just bald black dude. Just do that. Okay. All right, the mouse thing needs some work too. Yeah, I mean it's all AI. I gotta play around with it. Bro, it doesn't even look like you. It looks like Uncle Phil. Facts. It doesn't look like Uncle Phil. Let's see. The mouse thing needs work too. Well, yeah, I knew that. I knew that was the case, sir. I appreciate you. I did not think that it was actually gonna look like me. So that's cool. All right, we're waiting for the other co-host today. So I'm gonna get you to do some that's gonna sound weird. Some mouth work. I just want you to talk, and so you can get how loud your voice is gonna be on the mic. Because I may have to up some of the settings to make sure it matches your voice. Because I have a voice where it's fitting right now. So I'm like, oh, let's go. I also want to play music in the background so it's not dry. So, just talk.
Just talk?
Yeah.
I don't, about what?
Whatever you want.
I don't know, this is not my area of expertise.
Don't you talk for a living?
No, I sit and do nothing or read and write.
Don't say you don't do
That's
nothing.
about
Don't say you do nothing because you get paid for something.
Yeah, sometimes.
I am tell Alex that 211 on the buzzer. Alright. 211 on the buzzer. And then 1 to room. 211. Cool. Alright. Just say now. Do face cam for now. I should have you in the face cam too, so it's not just me. That looks better than just me.
It's a large microphone.
Which one? The one in your face?
Yeah, the one directly in my face.
That's how microphones are. It's not really large. It's a regular
Is it?
microphone. Yeah. It's a regular mic. You're not gonna juice your guest in the chat. I want to save it for when the show starts, man. Cadence. But yeah, I will introduce once it starts. Yeah, we're starting here at 7 officially. Yeah, I like doing pre-shows because you gotta get everything warmed up. This is a better view, Chris. I know it is. I know it's a better view. But we have 3 people here, so I don't have a choice. Unless you guys want to donate and give me money, and then I can get a better apartment. I'll set the treatment lighting on. Tweak that lighting. Yeah, we have 3 people here. Otherwise, it'd be different. But I like this. I like this view. It doesn't bother me. But if it bothers you, I can still zoom in really tight if I really want to.
Like they're watching us from above.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like eagles.
It's the eagle eye view. Exciting.
It's kind of what it is. It's super exciting. Like, again, if you don't like the view, you can watch something else.
Wow.
It's true.
Way to cater to your
If you think the view sucks, watch something else.
If you don't like what I'm doing, you can get the hell out.
That's what I tell my kids every day.
America.
I tell my kids that every day.
Very Republican of you.
Are you Republican this week?
No.
I want to. The thing that's annoying about this is that this.
Bright as hell.
No, it's just not really that.
No.
It's just it's so dependent on the internal settings. But again, I will be really looking up here most of the time anyway, so should switch this over. So it's not good right now because we're looking at it here. We'll be staring mostly up here once we get started. All right. Oh, what did you say? Right, you give me a thumbs up. Yeah, pre-shows are just better. So if you guys have anything you guys want to discuss at all, anything you guys are thinking about, before we put it in the chat, we'll address it. You know Fonte, right? Who's Fonte? Is that a rapper? Is that a person? That means I don't know him. I assume. What was I gonna do? Green jackets only. You know what's funny about that is that we didn't.
That's the dress code.
Well, he's not.
Chris texted me, if you're not wearing your green jacket, then don't even bother coming.
I didn't tell the other Alex that, so
No?
Yeah, no.
He's gonna feel left out.
He will be left out. I may have to change.
All right, do you feel left out because your name's not Alex?
I do. I also made this choice, so it's kind of me.
Yeah.
Fonte rapper from the group Little Brother. Oh, yeah. I know Little Brother, yeah. Why? Is he okay? All right. You want anything to drink, any water? And you got seltzer. We have aye. Yeah. Thanks.
Sure.
What do you want?
I don't know. I can grab it though.
Cool.
You don't have to get-
Yeah. I'm so excited to react to this thing, though. You have no idea. Like, I like. Also, let me remember too. I've also record. Let's see, open. New. You should have gone so she could talk to the chat. I mean, she can still talk to the chat now. You just want me to leave? Is that what it is? So remember to record the audio. Then I want to also, real quick, add a scroller at the bottom of this thing so that I can. I've been arguing for hours on Twitter because of this statement. Fonte influenced a generation of rappers as more influential than J. Cole. You know, to be honest, I don't really even know any of Fonte's stuff, bro. I mean, I think he's good, but I don't know it like that well to be like, yeah, this is correct or not correct. I don't know, to be honest with you. But I will say I think J. Cole definitely has more sons than Fonte. But I mean, are they using any evidence? Are they using anyone who, like, you know, who got their style from him or bit their style? That's the question I have to ask you. All right, guys, give it a few minutes. I'm gonna throw up the countdown. So I feel like you should be here like 5 minutes or something. And then we might have another person join, but he isn't confirmed. Oh, he's here. We're starting. Wait, he also heard me do that.
Yell.
I said he's starting. Yeah. He definitely just heard that.
Good.
I mean, what is happening, bro? Let's see. J. Cole is more impactful than Little Brother, though J. Cole is influenced by Fonte. I mean, so when we're saying influence, are we saying like basically the wordy smart rap? Is that what we're saying? Because I feel like I could easily argue that a lot of people rap like that heady kind of thoughtful, artistic thing. Like, thing is, you can tell when someone is that kind of rapper even when they start rapping. Like, the loneliest monk and all the people got the funk and you can feel it in my energy. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing where they're like constantly like thinking out loud. And it's like stream of conscious rap. That's what I call it. My argument is that he's not more influential. I don't think he's more influential. I agree with you. All right, I need to go ahead and throw a link real quick on the YouTube, you scribble. We'll see which shot is better for this set. Also, I just realized he doesn't probably use one because it's a really slow elevator. There are more rappers trying to rap like J. Cole because people are trying to be. I mean, haven't people always tried to be rappers though? Hasn't always been a thing? I would argue that has quite literally been the thing for as long as time has existed. I'm gonna give it a sec and then we'll get started. Talk to the chat and see how they
Chat.
Yeah. I realize that you don't do these at all. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm new to this.
Yeah, just talking to people on the street.
Oh, I have questions though. What's up? Not much. I am a first-time podcaster here, so this should be interesting. From Chicago.
From the burbs.
Oh, Chris gets angry when I say I'm from Chicago. I grew up in like the Hoffman Estates area, so I'm one of those people, I guess. But I've been in the city for like a decade, so I think it counts. He's just salty. Chris and I are friends. I'll let him give the full introduction. But yeah, what's up? What do I do? I'm a lawyer. Kind of boring stuff, so read a page of How to Be Black. I feel like that wouldn't be appropriate, but I don't know. Let's see if we can find something good. Chris has been reading this book for like weeks now. I think he got it for his dad as a birthday gift or something to be funny. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, sure. I should really definitely use the restroom.
What kind of? I am a civil defense lawyer. It's really like the most boring type of lawyer. I defend insurance companies. Well, not anymore. I defend like grocery stores, stuff like that.
Dude, it is actually really funny.
Most embarrassing story. Shoot.
Oh, nice.
You're putting me on the spot.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Just leave this out here.
They want to hear an embarrassing story about you.
About me?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything you've done that's embarrassing that I feel willing to share.
Let's see, I'm trying to think. How'd you meet Chris, and what's the most embarrassing story you can tell about him so he can live on the internet? Yeah, LOL. Hi.
What was that?
You seem very interesting. Hey, see, nice guy, dude. Nice seeing you, man. You've been around a while, dude. Hi. I'll ask that you protect Chris from the Illuminati. The Illuminati or the Illuminati, like the streamer.
Oh, was it a streamer?
Yeah. Well, she's
like, is that a porn thing?
Well, no, it's not a porn thing. Illuminati. I'm sure if you look it up, you can find porn on that.
There's got to be Illuminati porn out there.
There's porn of everything.
Yeah.
All right, pick a tattoo of yours you would like Chris to get tatted too.
Chris doesn't like my tattoos, so I don't think that would go very well.
Oh, see, that's a topic.
That's a topic?
That's a topic. No, talk about that. We'll discuss that.
Okay.
Because I don't not like your tattoos. I've never said that.
You think most of them are dumb. Okay.
I think that some of them don't have a purpose for existing.
They don't need to have a purpose.
There you go. All right, tattoo culture. All right. You got Alex.
Hey, how's
Alex.
it going? Alex?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. See this. Zoom out. Wait,
Oh, the delay is going to fuck with my head.
No, I will get it. I'm gonna
You gotta look at that one, there's no delay.
I'm gonna do the one-on-one.
Right on.
It's just, boom. All right. Turn this down a little bit. That's not for me.
Finally, someone wrote this.
All right. Let me switch it up. And this is why I have it here for right now, so I can just control everything for a second. I'm gonna start recording here. Boop. All right. Yeah, that one going. And then I'm gonna do this already. And then switch over to.
I'm actually really happy we're going to talk about the writer's strike.
Yeah, I figured you would. No, I figured you would. Because I want to get some feedback on that because I feel like I don't have a.
What writers are striking?
Hollywood.
Every
Oh.
Hollywood writer. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All of
Yeah,
them.
the WGA, the Writers Guild of America,
Oh, okay.
are on strike. Yeah.
Wow.
This angle looks like a disposition and interrogation. LOL.
I do a lot of them. You're not wrong.
Okay, so before I switch over to this, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with a quick little intro, and then we'll just kind of go from there. All
Right on.
Cool. All right, everybody, guys, welcome to the show. Today we have two special guests with the same name. I'll let them introduce themselves because I'm lazy. Go first.
I'm Alex. Is there something more we're supposed to say?
What do you want to fill the space with?
I don't don't know. You go first.
Okay, well, my name is also Alex, and we will issue absolutely no identifying marks, so you're just going to have to deal with it, I guess. But, yeah, how to describe myself? Well, Chris and I did a podcast together for
a
couple of years. Yeah, it was great with our friend Eric.
Yeah,
so
the Waterproof Sponge.
this is like a nice, fun, not the first time we've gotten together since then, but a nice return to the format, I guess.
Give a reprieve.
Yeah,
So,
exciting stuff.
I'm going to call him Lambert instead of Alex. It's not confusing for
Sounds
y'all.
good.
Or if you guys want, boy Alex, girl Alex, or it doesn't matter. You guys choose. He's about to give Chris a lot of different shows. Okay.
We're bald Alex and
That'd be
hair Alex.
I
entertaining.
mean, yeah. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm also bald. You guys know that though. All right, so I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna get you guys get a reaction to something that I found on the internet, and then we'll just go from there. I want your full reaction. So I'm gonna change this view to this. So I want you to watch this. We're gonna break it down. Basically, what's gonna happen. It's a commercial, and I want you to watch it once and then give me your idea of the theme, and then we're gonna watch it again, and this is your pure reaction. Okay? Good to go. I'm gonna zoom in on us with the camera. There's no hiding our faces. All right, there we go. And we'll go from here. Wait a second, the sound is way too low. I'm a professional. All right, there we go. And again, this is a great commercial. Her balloon. Oh no.
It's serving like Mulan.
Mulan?
Yeah, like when she takes those weights and climbs the pole in the middle of the camp to get the arrow out and prove that she's a true soldier.
Okay. He's sad. Here's my question. He does this every day?
Oh, jeez.
Why are there so many small children walking around that
What?
weird area with balloons? It keeps getting weirder.
All right, so let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that for a second. So, all right, so the man, the little girl in distress, goes, "Oh no, my balloon." Okay, he goes, "I'll help you," and then he climbs up like a literal monkey. Right? He goes, "I will help this girl." Also, he looks like Gucci Mane right here. So then he goes down the pole to give her balloon, and the mom goes, "Here you go." No! Because he's black. And then she runs away. And then he is sad. And my biggest question of this whole thing is twofold. Why have fresh helium in them? So how many little girls do you come across that you try to help?
It's kind of creepy. I don't know.
Like he just goes, "Oh, another one. I should probably just stop going outside." Shouldn't help any more Asian girls. So, because sorry, this happens a lot.
Well, they're all still floating. It must have all happened like around the same time too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's on the hunt for Asian girls to help, and he keeps getting rejected. But this one was yellow, so you know. And then last but not least, the other confusing part.
His bed is a toothbrush?
Well, not just that. He's not even human. And also, it looks like poop.
Yeah, that's a gross looking toothpaste, first of all.
Yeah, but I think that's the point of it, though.
So I have two thoughts I'd like to share. Can I share two thoughts?
Yeah, share away.
So first of all, it's incredible to me that apparently they decided it was easier to build an entire marketing campaign to convince people not to judge their brownish black toothpaste rather than just finding a way to change the color or the formula. And secondly, can you imagine if this was an American commercial and they were using racial animosity to sell fucking toothpaste?
I feel
That
like
wouldn't fly.
I don't think it's flying in whatever country this is either, but...
Yeah.
I don't think it works.
Or if he planted the balloon. That'd be creepy.
If he planted, what does that
He's
mean?
planting balloons all around town to like help these little girls.
Yeah. major creep.
Well, then the mom's reaction was warranted.
I'm loving the Chris Hansen reference there. Clayton Chris, way to go.
I'm a fan.
Good call. Dayton Chris.
Dayton
Sorry,
Chris.
Dayton
October, that's the last. But Chris Hansen showing up in a Klan outfit, telling him to have a seat would have made it wild. Yeah, I agree with that entirely. But yeah, I just thought that was the most interesting thing I saw today, and I wanted to share with you.
That is really. Is that a new commercial?
No,
or?
it's very old.
Oh,
no, it's
okay,
it's very old, but I think it's from like 2006, something like that.
Fun fact about Chris Hansen. One of my friends used to. You remember Power Hours? Did you guys ever do Power Hours like in college?
I did my first one ever with James.
Oh, really?
During the pandemic.
Okay. Yeah.
He was doing during the pandemic.
Oh my God.
So I was like, all right, we should. I should try this. And
You were late to the Power Hour game, my friend.
It was a disaster. The second one I ever did was at at VidCon for YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was funny because me and my friend Andy did it. We're hanging out, having a good time. We got pretty drunk and we went to a YouTuber party that said we weren't allowed to go into it later. We just went back. Let's go back. We went back together, got in, met a bunch of YouTubers who are all very drunk themselves. Jack's Films, we met Fine Brothers. I met Jack Films' girlfriend or not girlfriend because I think he's not married to her now, but something like whatever. So like we met a bunch of people. It was a blast, but it was also not good for my liver. Right, anyway.
No, so in college, one of my best friends used to host Power Hours, and his favorite Power Hour was to do the To Catch a Predator Power Hour, and you would watch an episode of To Catch a Predator, and you would take a shot like every time there was a screen name, or like I don't remember all the rules, but yeah, it was a wild Power Hour, man. And as you like got drunker, like the whole thing just became weirder and weirder.
I don't know if I want to do that or not. I haven't decided. It sounds like
it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Like To Catch a Predator Power Hour.
Yeah. Yep.
If they make like little pluggers for it, where they have like Chris Hansen, like.
Oh, there's just like when you watch a few of those episodes back to back, there are so many things that he does in like every episode.
Honestly, I used to watch that like
pretty
amazing. I watched it religiously. I would go to sleep watching it.
That's creepy.
Well, did you hear the story about why that show ended?
Didn't that politician kill himself, something like that?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
It
he
was
like caught
an
a politician.
attorney, a state's attorney or something.
Yeah.
Wait, tell the story.
Yeah.
So they may not.
No, I don't remember that. That's about as much detail as I remember. But like the fact that he like caught a major political figure, and that was it. Like that.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, like I watched. Yeah, they showed it on Predator Raw, which is like the version of it they didn't have as much editing, or what they even call it. And I watched an episode because they had the guy on the phone. They had him, and all the like police were like storming around his house, and then all you heard was a shot, like.
Oh yeah. Somebody did do that.
He
I remember that. Yeah.
He did because he got scared. He got caught.
That's crazy.
See. All right, so we got a couple topics here. You guys feel free to chime in the chat if you have anything to talk about. But I'm gonna just kind of hit the ground running. I'll call it. All right, let's start with the writer's strike. That's most relevant to today's modern day. So the writer's strike is happening. You just heard about it.
Yeah.
But basically, all of Hollywood is gonna just not have writers
Like indefinitely?
until they get an agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they do it like?
Hopefully a good agreement.
How many years ago was the last one?
2007.
Okay, right. And that was like shows like Heroes had their entire arc destroyed because the writers who actually created they weren't stepping over the line, weren't available, and so the show fell apart after that.
Okay.
So it ruins good shows sometimes. Or like talk shows all went on hiatus, but then a bunch of them came back, like Conan O'Brien, The Daily Show, etc., without writers. And I think that arguably Conan O'Brien did the best because he's really good at improv on his foot.
Yeah.
He had a segment where he just spun his wedding ring around in a circle for like 40 seconds.
Tried to set a world record.
Yeah, just over and over again. And
It's been making the rounds on Twitter, but you can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
Interesting.
It was pretty hilarious.
I mean, some of these comedians have to be able to write enough of their own material to survive something like that.
You
I
say
would
that,
think.
but Jimmy Fallon,
I don't know.
Jimmy Fallon can't.
Well, she said comedians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did he do stand up? I mean, he was
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
He did stand up. He did. Honestly,
Yeah.
what's funny about that is that I thought he was actually really funny. I really liked him until he got the show. Like he wrote great music. Like he wrote like the Idiot Boyfriend song. You remember that?
I don't remember.
I'm an idiot and I'm your boyfriend. It's like that. He had that voice.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna let you down. And I got you. I got you autographed oh yeah, what is it? I got you an autographed bowling ball with my name on it. Yeah.
It's quite
But
the gift.
it was pretty. So I'm like, okay, he can do this, right? And now he just throws things with celebrities and doesn't really do anything but laugh at his own jokes that aren't funny. Like, I don't know, he overhypes everything. Like, oh my gosh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest. I don't even watch him anymore because it's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, like, and then right now Conan's doing full time like podcasting until the show thing on HBO Max or Max starts, and it's just him and his people just talking. It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
Do you have a show coming out?
He's supposed to. That's why he left.
Okay.
That's why he left late night, so he could go produce this show, whatever it's gonna be.
Is he on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So like, all right. So the strike. What do you think is gonna affect that you care about?
I mean, I desperately want these writers to get pretty much everything they're asking for because if they don't, I mean, like having a career in Hollywood is just pretty much going to cease to be a viable option.
Right. Unless the reason why we have, this is what I said in the chat, the reason why we have so many reality shows now is they started making reality shows during the last writer's strike, and they realized, oh, this is profitable because we don't have to pay them very much money, and productions is pretty much the same, is like, same people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a big part of the problem right now is that streamers, part of the deal, writers historically used to make a lot of their money from residuals, right? Like shows getting rerun. I mean, and this is true of like a lot of top line creative people, but big part of the problem is like streamers don't have residuals, right? They don't syndicate anything. They don't sell discs for the most part, and so there's really not a lot of money besides the initial salary, which just really might not be that great anymore. And what's kind of going on recently too is that a lot of streamers negotiated a clause where in order to recoup their investment in the initial production, they don't actually have to pay any residuals on the initial, I think it's like 30 or maybe 45 days of the show airing. But of course that's when most people watch streaming shows now, is right away.
Right.
And they don't watch them again later. And then the other thing that started happening recently is that streamers like Netflix are actually taking shows off of their platform completely, which means they don't have to pay any residuals at all, right? Because if they take it off, it doesn't exist on disc. It's not getting syndicated. It literally does not exist. So yeah, there's a lot at stake. I mean, even for us as viewers and as just, people who benefit from creative work, is that like if these people don't get at least a lot of what they're asking for, like there's not going to be any creativity in a couple of years. Like we're just going to watch recycled stories and
the timing for me is interesting because we're like entering this AI era of life. So, so I am wondering what's going to happen. Are they going to like utilize AI to write some of these shows?
I think they can. I think they're wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do wonder, like, I would love to see them do an AI written show. I know South Park did that.
Did they?
They had an AI written show, and they didn't do any editing, they didn't change anything. They let it just be what it was. But then they were like, you know what, we can't do that. So they then went back and tweaked it. So if the writing credits go to Matt Stone and ChatGPT, because they realized that it's not going to be perfect. We got to go back in and like tweak things a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
but what a lot of writers have been trying to point out, like about ChatGPT in particular, is that in a lot of cases, like the ChatGPT, you'd think that it would give you like a prompt, like a viable prompt. But honestly, like what it spits out is so bad that a writer would be better off just starting off from scratch.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see that that Seinfeld thing they did?
Yeah.
Where he ran 24 hours on Twitch, and then it like slowly became like racist.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Let's see. I wonder if the writer's strike is going to have much impact with all the streaming.
If they're successful, it's going to be huge. I mean, I think I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that Netflix is the major holdout right now. And I think the difference is like Netflix has always been a tech company, right? The content is honestly incidental. Like that's their product, but they don't love it. Like they're not a creative entity. They just need to put something up on their streaming service that you pay money for to keep people invested, but they don't. These aren't necessarily creative people. Like Ted Sarandos is not a creative person. He's just a guy who used to sell you discs and realized he'd be better off selling you a streaming subscription.
Right.
Like,
the thing is, like, I mean, because of what they're selling, they're hitting a point where like unless they just do that thing now, they just make people hate them, or they're gonna like make you have to not share your password or whatever.
Sure.
Like that's the only way they're gonna make money now because they're in everybody's home. Like for the most part, like I don't think there's very few people who don't have Netflix.
Yeah, there are. I mean, the biggest here's the biggest issue. It's not about money. These people all make money hand over fist.
Okay.
Every studio makes a ton of money.
Okay.
The problem is that they've all jumped onto this Wall Street bandwagon about growth, right? It's not about the money. They make hundreds of millions of dollars every year. What it's about is, can we make hundreds of $1 million more than we did last year?
Right.
And that's hard, right? That's not realistic. I mean,
Right.
eventually,
Yeah.
like you said, everybody who wants Netflix has it. Is there anyone on this planet who's never heard of Netflix?
I don't think so.
Anybody?
No,
Honestly?
right.
Like,
I mean, they don't even need to promote at this point. Like, they're like,
Right.
They're a household
Just
name.
exists.
They're like it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
like Kleenex.
sure. Yeah. So how do you keep growing at that point, right? You can't. And if you can't keep growing, your stock price stagnates, and the people who really matter, the shareholders, aren't happy. And
I mean,
that's
that's
where we're at.
to me that's weird. I feel like some industries should be, I guess, maybe I was called regulated to a point where it's like you don't need to grow. You just need to maintain. You don't want to lose market share. You just want to maintain what you have, stay in that good space, and produce other things to make people want more. Like when they made something called they made Squid Games, right?
Yeah.
That was such a big talk that everybody wanted it. So then they're like, okay, cool. So everybody went and jumped in and got Netflix or whatever it was. So I would say solution would be make the best content you can make possible, and don't greenlight every single thing because there's a lot of stuff on there that's crap.
It's a lot of content, right?
Yeah.
Like capital C content.
Right.
It's not good. Nobody. I mean, we've all seen like 100 things on Netflix where you're like, I don't know anyone who's ever watched this.
Right.
And, no one's ever talked about it.
But everybody talk about Bridgerton.
Sure.
There's a new one coming out tomorrow.
A new season.
Is
A
it
new.
Queen-
It's the Queen Charlotte.
Queen Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that?
It's the Queen from the original Bridgerton series, but when she was younger, like
Oh.
her generation of Bridgerton dating.
Are you excited about it? Your eyes
I
got
am a little
really
bit
wide.
excited about it.
I won't lie to you. I skipped season
Yeah.
2 because I was in one, and then 2
Yeah?
just was so different. I was like, I don't care.
2 was alright. The first season was better.
Right. I mean, I guess notice I forget the guy's name. I wanted the original.
Sean,
Reggae,
Reggae
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, I wanted him back.
Yeah.
I want to follow his story, and it wasn't in it. I'm like, I don't really care. Is that racist?
That's fair. Is that racist?
Yeah.
I mean, it was still like racially
Against
diverse in the
whom?
second season. Yeah.
Against white people, I didn't want to watch their story. I wanted to watch the story
The
about
second
white people.
season was a story about an Indian woman.
Oh.
So.
Oops, I should have cared about that. See, I don't know about the topic, but I don't think this will really hurt creativity. Oh, yeah, the writer's strike. There will be plenty of talented scabs of people looking for their first big break to fill the void. You know, that was one of my thoughts, too,
Yeah.
always. Because, like, I'm not a writer, I'm not a good writer, right? But I'm like, I could be one if they pay me enough money. But I don't know. Like, I almost would like to, like, jump in and take advantage of this, but yeah, I want to, like, all right, finally, I get my Netflix series, The Chris Sanders Show. Chris Sanders.
You don't want to be a scab.
Why?
First of all,
People hate you for, like,
people will definitely hate you.
Speak up.
But no, I mean honestly, like
can I go like a not me, like if I wear like a fake mustache? Hi, I am Guy Incognito.
you currently have a mustache.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not even a good
Yeah.
disguise. Maybe you
A bigger
could
bush
have like a
one.
beautiful, full head
Afro,
of
I
hair.
gotta get an afro. I can do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That would look real.
No,
Alright,
no, but I mean, like the thing is, at the end of the day, these things that they're pushing for, they're really the only thing that's going to make the industry even viable. Because if the writers don't win this, honestly, like it's already really hard to make a living as a creative person
Right.
in Hollywood. But I mean, if they don't get some of these like really pretty, like they sound like a lot, but it's really pretty bare minimum stuff. At the end of the day,
What are they asking for?
it's like living wage stuff. I mean, well, so they need to reevaluate this system of the residuals to make sure that, because like so much of the money actually comes from like the long-term impact of the stuff they create. But I mean, at this point, like the studios are just finding any excuse not to pay these people even to just be in writers' rooms. I mean, like you're making such a small amount of money, and they, there used to be. I mean, you used to put together a writers' room for a show. And you get paid a good wage, and then you're getting paid like per episode, and
Right.
and you're kind of getting a certain amount of work, and and they're just like finding ways to cut that down to less and less. They're also just fewer and fewer episodes, which like as a viewer I'm in favor of, because I was never a big fan of the super long shows. But like those are the kinds of shows, unfortunately, that keep people employed. Right? It's like if you have a 8-episode show, maybe you're writing for like a few weeks, but then like what do you do the rest of the year? And it's tough. I mean, I just think that the other thing is like, who are we in favor of here? Like, are we rooting for people who make the stuff we love, or are we rooting for these big faceless corporations? Right. And that's true everywhere, right?
That's true.
Right? Like,
that's true. The last writer strike, all the talk, show hosts grew beards. I wonder who's gonna have the best one when it's over. I haven't seen Jimmy Fallon with a beard in a long time. I'm gonna throw it out there for him. But what's his name? What's the other one? The other Jimmy.
Kimmel.
Kimmel. He already has a beard, so.
Yeah, he looks good with a beard too.
He looks like more of a man. What's funny about him is that he's the one person.
He looked so feminine before.
That's true. So baby faced.
So he's one of those people where like they tried to cancel him and it didn't work. Because he used to be on the Man Show.
Kimmel, yeah.
Right, yeah. And he was like, they were sexist and racist and everything all in between, and it just never stuck. And I'm like, how did he get away with that?
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
he just changed completely, and I guess
had some good publicists.
Probably.
No, I was having this conversation with somebody else, and they mentioned that like there are certain white people that can get away with certain stuff. So he goes like, Kim Kardashian, even though she's like been with a bunch of black guys, still can't wear braids. People get mad about it. But Sarah J, the porn star, can, and no one says anything. No one says anything.
I mean, does the mainstream media care about porn stars?
It's a good question.
I'm not sure that's the first thing they would cancel her for.
Right?
Good point.
Bring back Tucker Carlson to do one episode.
That's pretty funny. Okay, Resident Evil. What does Alex do again? Guy Alex do again?
Oh, I mean, I work for a nonprofit. I was a production assistant for like a year and a half after college, but I'm just like obsessed with movies, so I just pay a lot of attention to this stuff.
Would you claim the term cinephile?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a nice way to put what I am.
What's the not nice way?
I mean, whatever the slur for dork is.
Honestly, I don't think that exists anymore. I feel like people don't really like. Oh, you're a dork. Oh, you're slur. You're eating.
Marvel movies make $2 billion. Like we won. We're here.
Wait. So I'm getting a flashback to the last podcast when Disney basically bought everything, and you were very like in fear they wouldn't be able to make movies like Logan anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Do you feel like that's true?
Don't you?
Honestly, I feel like
have you watched a Star Wars thing recently?
Okay, that's fair. But I feel like there's still like creativity happening in short films and like there's still stuff happening
on Disney.
Not on Disney, but like, I feel like as a whole, there are some things that are still like kind of creative and doing well. No.
What do you think, Alex?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Disney buff in the world, but the superhero movies, they're very like family friendly, family oriented.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I mean, I can see how the older X-Men movies were more controversial,
a little edgier.
Yeah.
Naked women walking around the whole time.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, no, I think I would have preferred the older stuff.
Yeah, but they're still they're gonna make the what do you call it, the Deadpool 3 movie. We're gonna Hugh Jackman in there, and they're gonna go with the R rating for once. Finally, we got
dream big.
Live your life.
Yeah. What does that mean? They get to say like 2 swear words
maybe
instead of 1.
Apparently, in this new Guardians movie that comes out tomorrow or starts coming out tomorrow, it has 3 F words in it.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the most F words in a Marvel movie.
I'm sure it is.
Probably is.
I mean, I don't know. I don't actually know another Marvel movie with the F word in it. Weeb. You know what? So weeb. So I heard weeb is a slur in Japan, but here we use it differently, right? Like a weeaboo. So I couldn't be a weeb. I couldn't be a weeaboo, which means someone who thinks Japanese culture is better than Americans, and you're like obsessed with Japan in general.
Okay.
And so like that's why you love anime. You eat ramen. Like when I was in high school.
You like anime? You eat ramen?
Yeah, I'm being serious. Yeah.
So it's like a worse version of an otaku.
Basically. I would say but it's like because you're obsessed. You're not being realistic. Otaku are geeks and nerds, but like you're obsessed with the entire Japanese culture, is how I understand it.
Okay.
So you call yourself a weeb, And apparently, that's not a good thing to call yourself.
Okay.
But like I remember, I had a thing where like I stopped using forks in high school. I would only use chopsticks for everything, which made ice cream difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
I'm kidding. No, but like I would use instead of a fork if I had the option. So I would always like I got really good at it. Really good with my fingers, like pick it up. And I realized also like we try to Americanize some stuff that shouldn't be Americanized. So like they use their bowl to feed themselves, like instead of spoons, like you spoon it into your mouth with the chopsticks instead of picking it up and globbing it in. Which is why people get frustrated with chopsticks. They're like, oh, these aren't working because you're eating it wrong.
I still think a spoon would be more efficient than chopsticking something into my mouth.
No, it's not because you're already eating the food. You pick up the bowl and you just tilt it.
Yeah.
No.
I'd rather have a spoon. I'm good.
All right, let's see. All right, I watched a Matt Walsh video and never knew how expensive. I don't know who Matt Walsh is. Expensive Disney World to Disneyland was like $25 for pop. What? $25 popcorn? That's gross.
Yeah, Disney World is expensive.
I've only been as a child. I don't even know much about it actually. Like,
That's crazy.
I know like a Disney adults are a thing now, but
Yeah.
I know less than nothing about it. See, spoon over chopsticks. Whatever, is not a flavor.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, he's just picking your side on purpose.
Well, he's right.
Actually, I think we reclaimed the word back and changed the meaning. This Japanese dude in Japan I watch is king of the weaves and said weaves should be proud. Oh, that's cool. I love that. That's awesome. All right, let's see what else we can talk about.
Spoon is better than chopstick. There you go.
I just don't agree. All right, so let's go back to a relevant topic that came up while you were in the bathroom. Tattooed culture. Tattoo culture. So you said I don't like your tattoos. Is your statement?
Yeah.
You think I don't like them?
I think that you don't. Yeah, I think you don't like them.
Or understand.
Or you don't understand it. You don't get it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So explain.
You don't.
Explain
You wouldn't make the choices I've made.
No, we're not. I have 0 of them. I get stickers and put them on me, but that's all.
Yeah.
No, I do. I have like the fake one. I have the fake ones.
He
that
puts
I, like,
these
put
fake
on.
temporary tattoos on and walks around and thinks they look real.
I have seen them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
And then he's even got a trick like the day 2, or no, he'll put like baby powder on them or something.
Like I'm saving this one.
Oh, to make it look like an old tattoo.
Yeah, I'm saving this
Yeah.
one.
That's
for
pretty
you.
good, actually. That's funny.
Yeah. But it doesn't. It works though. And people
It
always
works for
tell
people
me.
who don't know what a real tattoo looks like. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's not a thing. I feel like everyone knows what a real tattoo is, but mine just look great.
I sent you a sketch of this tattoo I got yesterday, and you
Yeah.
thought it was the real thing.
I was like, that thing looks horrible, but I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah, I got some cutesy. I'll actually switch the camera to this. Let's see if this works. Let's do studio mode. Boom. I'm saying it out loud as I do it because I don't have production secrets. All right, switch to the cam, transition. Boom. All right, so I've got these anime cute ones that I get lots of comments on all the time when I wear them. And people really do think they're real because that's someone who knew what a tattoo was. She had one and she goes, oh, that looks really good. Oh, this is one I'm saving. I don't know when I'm going to do it. It's a dope Star Wars one. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys how great I am at tattoos.
You are the tattoo master.
I am.
I'll defer to your expertise.
Unlike some people. No, but really, so like, do you think there's like a bias against people with tattoos? Or do you feel like there's like preconceived notions? Do you feel like
Yes.
there's like judgment around it?
Yeah, I think it depends on where you're at, the type of environments you put yourself in. I think generally walking around Chicago, like I don't get much pushback or anything. But like when I go visit my grandpa in Texas, like I'll get the weird looks from, the old Southern ladies and
Oh, my son, stop.
yeah, right? It's so scandalous. Or like the older generations, like I'm
me?
a lawyer and, I still have to cover them up at work and like at court most of the time. But there's definitely like older attorneys who have given me looks, which I'm sure is some kind of a judgment, determination of how good of a lawyer I am, which is annoying. There's certain people that think that, tattoos are associated with criminal behavior or
It
immoral
is.
people.
It literally is.
I mean, back in the day,
But today is the day.
today is the day, exactly. So
So-
like, I think there's I don't remember the percentages, but like there's such a huge percentage of tattooed people out there now. Like it's really not a thing.
I was thinking about like hipster culture when I think about tattoos, because I think a lot of people get like really random tattoos that didn't make any sense, and I immediately go hipster. So I would just say it's hipster culture.
No, I mean there's so many different styles of tattoos. That I mean, sure, there's certain styles that are more likely to be seen on a hipster type person, but like you're not gonna see like a hipster with gang tattoos. Like I don't know, like you're not gonna see. There's just so many different styles.
I've seen people with like the teardrops.
A hipster? You've seen like a white hipster in a beanie walking down the street with a teardrop tattoo?
2 teardrops.
I doubt
Okay,
that.
that is poor judgment. Yeah.
Or like, okay, like all right, so like who was it? Gucci Mane got an ice cream cone tattooed on his face.
That's dumb.
But then okay, what isn't dumb though? Like
What isn't dumb?
yeah, okay, example. I'm not gonna make fun of your actual tattoo, but like, would you say like the anchor when you don't like
I know
boating?
you hate the anchor.
But you don't like boating.
The anchor fit in that spot nicely.
It looks good, but you don't.
Right,
does
it looks
fit.
cool.
It,
It fit in the spot.
it fits, but you don't like boating, so why would you get that? It's so huge. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but the anchor, like the symbology in tattoos, is more to like stay grounded, stay
Okay.
like true to yourself
See, I
type
don't know
of
this.
thing.
See, I don't know that.
I'll be honest with you, I got it because it fit the spot. I
Right.
thought it looked cool.
Right.
They don't all have a reason,
I guess
but
to
that's
me,
like reason enough for me.
I guess to me, like if I got tattoos, and I already tattoos already, I would get a bunch of Dragon Balls everywhere, and then I would get the Shenron dragon, so not like yours, but like the one from Dragon Ball Z, and then I would get a bunch of Pokemon. I'll get every 151 Pokemon all over my arm.
You get 151
I get
Pokemon
151
on your arm?
Pokemon all over my arm, so I have
Oh
an
my
entire
gosh.
sleeve of all. I'm sure someone's done it. I guarantee someone's done it.
100%.
Yeah.
Guarantee someone's done it. Or he's got a Pokemon all over their body somewhere. But like that's
That's
what
a
I
lot
would
of
get.
Pokemon.
That's what I would get. That would be like thousands of dollars all over me forever.
Yeah.
It would be fascinating to know what percentage of the human race has a Pokemon tattooed on their body.
Specifically.
It's a round number. I would wager it's a round number.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
My friend is dating this guy who has like a crap ton of Pokemon all over his body, and then he has Goku on his like leg down here, and I'm like, that looks cool, but I don't know if I want it every single day. And that's where it loses me because I like the option of choice, which is why I don't do Apple phones.
Yeah, no, since I started getting tattoos, I really haven't worried about it's there forever. Like, it just kind of becomes part of my body.
Right, but you're not worried about when you get old. You're like, this is now me.
I'm going to look like a badass old lady. Like, what is there to be worried about?
Oh, see, we can't see it. We can't see the dang anchor. We're up here on the ceiling. Shut up. Oh, first of all, sir, I can zoom in. I have the option to do that. Show the anchor.
That's
there you
the
go.
anchor.
That's the anchor.
Right there.
Okay, you see it? You zoomed in. You happy?
See, it fits in the spot very nicely.
It is really interesting how like entangled with the history of tattoos the anchor is
Yeah.
in general. I mean, like I feel like that's like the prototypical tattoo, right? Like, didn't Popeye have the anchor tattoo like on his giant
I think
arm?
it's
Like,
because like they started off like a big part of Army Navy culture.
Yeah.
With like the Sailor Jerry tattoos and everything.
sure. Yeah.
Who is Sailor Jerry? Is that person?
Sailor Jerry was an old tattoo artist.
Sort of the most famous tattoo
Yeah.
artist, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But he kind of pioneered the American traditional style of tattooing, which is most of what my tattoos are.
American traditional? So
Yeah.
like the ones everyone else has.
No.
Okay.
It's American.
No,
it's
I'm
a
saying,
popular style.
I've seen your eagle in other people. I think I told you that before. I've seen your eagle in other people.
Sure, I mean that's a pretty traditional American.
Okay, I've never seen
American
cherry
traditional
nuts in
style.
other people.
You know what? I like my cherry nuts. Okay.
Wait, we're gonna zoom in on that too so people
Oh
see
my
it.
god, they're little
Sorry.
skull cherries and they're cute. Chris calls them cherry nuts.
They look like cherry nuts. Your dad said the same thing.
My dad did say the same thing.
Cherry nuts.
I think they're cute. They're now
on
flaming cherry
they're
nuts.
now on fire now.
Yeah, there's no meaning to that one.
Oh, the fire came later.
The fire's from yesterday.
She did
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they're flaming cherry nuts, but I'm not mad about it.
Okay. All right. This will give you a segment so you can talk about it.
Thanks.
All right. So I want to talk about double standards real quick. So does everybody here know the story about Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get, yeah.
That he was like harassing people.
They, not he is.
They.
They.
Oh.
Yeah.
Respect the program.
I'm canceled.
Non-binary.
Cancel.
All right.
Oh, sorry, just kidding. But yeah, they were getting pretty drunk and high and like fighting women in public, and it was filmed in Hawaii. There's like the kidnapping thing going on where he like started like a relationship with like this little girl, but not like dating per se. And he like brainwashed her and her friends, and starting his own cult and all this different stuff, right? But apparently that Flash movie is amazing and worth all the stuff. So they're not even like remotely counseling him. They're just kind of going like, well, he just needs. They need to get their work, their act together, and figure it out, and we're gonna support them. Is what's being touted, right?
Okay.
But then you have Jonathan Majors, who was going to be Kang, or was Kang at least already, in the Ant-Man movie. He was going to be like the feature villain, like Thanos was in all the other Marvel movies coming up. But now it's like they might be rethinking that because they get those domestic abuse charges, but nothing's been proven yet. So now they're rethinking even using Kang as a character in the set of the movies for Marvel. They're rethinking the entire thing. So do you think there's a double standard there?
No, I feel like it's a money thing.
How so?
They've already filmed the movie with Ezra Miller.
Right.
So they're just going to tabletop the whole entire movie.
Well,
they
the thought
spent
was-
hundreds of millions of dollars on it.
A lot of people were talking about them replacing him in all the major scenes that he was in and doing reshoots.
Yeah, even that costs more millions of dollars. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not on the corporation's side, but, like, what, this kid, like, goes out and messes up, and they're going to have to repay for everything to reshoot the movie?
I mean, they've done it in the past.
Yeah. What did that other guy do, though, when they reshot that whole movie with that old white guy?
Which one?
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey. Yeah.
Yeah. They reshot that in 2 weeks, which is really pretty incredible.
Wait, what?
But there was no, yeah, I mean it's a good point because it is somewhat of a similar situation. I think the big difference was, to your point, it's like Kevin Spacey just was not in as much of the movie. It was much less effects heavy, right? They had to shoot some green screen. So the Christopher Plummer, I don't know if anybody remembers this. The movie was All the Money in the World, which is a Ridley Scott movie. I think part of it is that Ridley Scott is, a 40-year veteran, notoriously like very, very fast at making films. I mean, he'll shoot 2 huge movies a year because he's just so good at it. And yeah, they basically all just committed to reshooting every scene that Kevin Spacey was in that they could. There's 2 shots of him left in the movie still that you can kind of catch. But basically just brought in Christopher Plummer, also like an 80-year-old actor who's been acting for 60 years, and they just banged those scenes out in 2 weeks, and the actors all agreed to take scale, and with the exception of Mark Wahlberg, which is another story. But
Wait, what's that?
So do you understand? So for people who don't know, scale is the minimum amount that a SAG actor is allowed to take to work on a movie.
Right.
The day rate, it used to be $650 a day. I don't know if that's still the case. But basically, the actors agreed to take that so that they could do the reshoots and fix the movie, because otherwise they'd pretty much have to just abandon it. And the only person who refused to do that was Mark Wahlberg, who instead demanded $3 million to do the reshoots. And when the public found out about that, he was shamed pretty aggressively and ended up having to donate it to women's causes, which is a good thing.
Well, good.
So anyway, they reshot 2 weeks. They reshot every scene that Spacey was in, and they cut him out of the movie, and they released the movie. I mean, I think they literally did this weeks before the movie was coming out, and it turned out pretty well. I mean, I will say that like the trailer of the movie with Spacey, which is still out there, still one of the best trailers I've ever seen, and I didn't feel like the movie was really quite up to that level.
What's the movie called?
All the Money in the World.
All the Money in the World. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a decent movie, but yeah. Anyway, sorry. So.
Yeah. No, so I mean, I don't know that it's a double standard so much as just a practicality. I mean, if they've just cast somebody, they haven't filmed anything,
Right.
and they do something bad, recast them.
I mean, they set up this whole precedent already, though. Like, I know, like, who got cut? Don Cheadle replaced Terrence Howard. Yeah. And in the Iron Man series, because they only did one movie, right? But this whole Kang thing was kind of like baked into the entire Loki series, and then now this show. And there's a giant in the show there's a giant statue dedicated to this exact character. There's made a major arcing plot of the entire thing, and to throw it away to me just seems like.
Has he already been in something?
Yeah.
He is in season 2 of Loki.
Season 2 of Loki.
Oh, okay.
It's season 1 of Loki, and already the Ant-Man, last Ant-Man movie. So
Which came
Okay.
out before all of
I mean,
this stuff came out.
I guess because it's
recast him.
I mean, I guess it's hard. I mean, it's not as hard, I guess, for this character because Kang is a bunch of different people. He has so many different personas. But they did in that last movie show that after credit scene where they showed all the variants of Kang, and there wasn't like a different one that didn't look like him already. But I guess they could get away with it by doing that. Just going like, that was one of the Kangs. This is the other Kang, and
Right.
just shift that way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, for the record, like the Flash movie hasn't come out yet, so it'll be interesting to see how it performs. Like, I'm sure some people will stay away and say like, hey, I don't want to see this person in a movie.
Right.
But honestly, I feel like we saw a similar thing with the Harry Potter video game, which is that, frankly, like at the end of the day, I think a lot of people just maybe they do care about this stuff, but they care more about their own entertainment. Like they're willing to set aside some of those moral viewpoints when it's to their benefit, or like I don't know. I mean, people probably don't even know about it, right? Like they talked about Ezra Miller, but like how many people? I mean, how much of this stuff is stuff that people who are very online know about?
Right.
That the average person, like my mom's never heard of Ezra Miller.
I guarantee.
ever.
Yeah. I guarantee.
I'm not saying she's gonna watch the Flash movie, but like she doesn't know that.
Yeah, I guarantee. My dad doesn't know. No, my mom doesn't know. So
yeah,
you're right. Good point.
Yeah.
So I mean, that plays into it a bit too.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that, I mean, they consider. I think Warner Brothers genuinely wanted to flush this movie the way they did the Batgirl movie.
Right, yeah.
I think they wanted to just can it, start fresh with a new company. And I think that the fact that the movie's testing so well,
That's what I'm saying,
every screen test they've done, and they've certainly sunk a lot of money into it. But like, I think that if the movie wasn't testing as well as it is, I think they would have canned it. But I just don't think that they, as a company, I think that they can't resist trying to get what's probably going to be their No Way Home.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I do feel like
it's pretty clear that's what they're going for here.
Everyone I know who's seen the movie, I have a couple friends who like work, and they like are YouTubers basically. And they're like, it's one of the best movies they've ever seen.
Wow.
You keep hearing that. And James Gunn said that.
Surprising.
He said that. He goes, this is one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. I'm like,
Yeah.
Really?
It's important to remember that he is the establishment now.
Oh, yeah.
I like James Gunn quite a bit, but he is the head of DC Studios.
Oh,
right?
I know that, but I just
so
feel like
it's a little different.
I know, Jimmy, but I
It's a
feel
little
like him even like him saying that though. I know he didn't have to say that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
Like he could have like, oh, it's good. Like his the Peacemaker show, that was a great show.
Yeah, it's
right.
good.
It's really good.
Fun.
Right. But he didn't go, it's the greatest superhero movie I've ever seen when he's making other superhero movies right now. Like he's making more.
Yeah.
So
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think you're right. Like, he's
I hope it's good. But yeah, I agree. I mean, the fact that we've all, a lot of people, I think, have collectively just haven't responded to the Ezra Miller situation the way that we have, other things.
I mean, because also in the chat, like Jonathan Majors hasn't been officially replaced either, which is true, but it still feels dicey that they're even like going as far already. I don't know. Like that's a question. So, do you feel like what someone does when they're not filming should matter? Like,
Yeah.
should it matter?
Yeah.
Should it matter? Okay.
Yeah, because
why?
because there are a million other people vying to be actors, right? We don't need them. We don't need them, and we shouldn't reward them financially if they're like this. Also, like Hollywood is a liberal industry, and it's all. I mean, it's literally about tapping into emotions and finding humanity. So what you're gonna do that, but then you're gonna be like, I don't care that Jonathan Majors tunes up on the ladies that that he's dating, and it's a huge disappointment. Like I think Jonathan Majors was gonna be the next best actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's an incredible actor.
Like I watched Creed 3. I skipped Creed 2 because I fell asleep when I tried to watch it. But I did. I was enjoying what I was watching, but that tone was so like, oh, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
But 3 was so good with him in it. Even the way he played the character made me like more engrossed in the overall film when I wasn't really. Like it's disappointing. It's sad.
I think like even in real world scenarios though, like if you're applying for jobs, you have to disclose your criminal background.
Right.
And like, especially in small towns, like if you get arrested even, like your mugshot's gonna show up when somebody Googles your name, and like those are valid legal reasons not to hire somebody.
Right.
So like, I mean, if that's gonna happen in day-to-day life, why can't we choose not to hire a celebrity for a movie role when they do the same thing?
I would argue that we shouldn't be using people's criminal record against them. We should allow them to have it expunged so they can actually
think it depends on the offense.
Well, yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that, but I think it's a bit of a different situation. You know, I mean, also like with Jonathan, somebody like Majors, we don't have to kind of stick with that example, but
Yeah,
like
sure.
if somebody
Woody
commits a sex crime, and then you're putting them in a position where eventually they may have to like simulate a sexual scenario in a movie, like. How can you do that to your colleagues? You know, these actresses or actors.
Yeah.
How can you put them in that position? That's just it's compromising.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, is his career going to be over? It's hard to say.
Right.
He's very good. I mean, like, and he's got other films coming out. Most notably, there's a movie that came out of Sundance that got incredible reviews called Magazine Dreams.
I heard about this.
And honestly, it was probably going to be his big Oscar play, and that movie's not scheduled until November. And I think at this point, I'm guessing it's probably going to end up kind of getting dumped because, you know, I mean, who's gonna get behind that movie now, right? Under the circumstances.
And that sucks for all the other people who were involved in that film who probably like made like a great movie, probably.
Yeah, and it's an independent movie, right?
Right.
I mean, all of their hopes and dreams are tacked onto this, but like that's unfortunately the risk that you take now when you're hiring people and you don't necessarily know, but like. Yeah, I do wonder if that's something that's going to lead to some change in specifically the film industry, where it's like, you know, are there going to be morality clauses included in actors' contracts? Like when you have a situation like the Kang situation where this guy was essentially sort of like a major pillar of the next phase of Marvel, is there a clause included in the contract where if something like this comes up, they lose profit participation, so at least people can go see the movie without feeling guilty about supporting somebody like that? I don't know.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, that's something I thought about a lot with the Kevin Spacey situation, which is that, like, you don't want to give that guy money, but, like, the other people in the movie didn't do anything, right?
Right.
So, yeah, it's challenging.
So we got here in the chat. This is Marky Mark, Wahlberg, a dude that wasn't canceled for his past trash behavior. That's true.
Sure.
Yeah, true. Yep, SAG actors. Like, Mel Gibson even made a comeback, which is wild.
Dude, Gibson works. I mean, he is constantly working.
What sucks? He's really good. Did you see the Beaver movie?
I never saw The Beaver, but I mean, I saw, you know, and look, like we're all guilty of this.
Right.
We all have problematic faves. Like I fucking went and saw Hacksaw Ridge after the racist stuff. I don't feel great about it, but like the man can direct a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to
he's-
Chris Brown actively, so
Yes.
that's what.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think that says something to maybe the nature of cancel culture and how, like, I think there's been a condemnation of cancel culture in general, and, like, we're starting to realize that people can redeem themselves, and, you know, you do one bad thing, that doesn't mean you're a bad person for the rest of your life.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. I mean, I'm probably like the most known Chris Brown apologist, because I just think that like he made a mistake when he was really young. He was a teenager when it happened. He regrets it. He has not repeated it. People keep going like, well, he did it again. I'm like, no, he hasn't. He's never been convicted of anything else ever again. He made threats to somebody one time, but that's not the same thing.
How many times have you threatened to beat somebody to death?
Never. When I was playing.
Second question: how many of them were women?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know because I was probably playing Overwatch, and I don't know how old or the gender.
No, but I know, you know, I know people bring this up all the time, but it's like there's so much emphasis in our culture right now about, you know, the dangers of cancel culture. But then you see so many of these people, right? Mel Gibson's still working. Louis C.K.'s back on tour. Like what cancel culture, really? You know,
It's just you're taking a break from your career unless you like are super screwed. I mean, they're all kind of screwed up, but like R. Kelly's done.
well, he's,
Yeah, well.
I know. That's all we got.
Prison the rest of his life.
That's all we got. We got R. Kelly. Like Roseanne did a special on Fox Nation or something like that.
which is
He's
exactly
got a
where
very
she belongs.
particular.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those wild things.
Taking over Tucker Carlson's spot.
So I used to like her a lot because she kind of played that like that working every woman person.
Sure.
And she lost that entire appeal over the years, because at first she was like, you know, like it sounds weird. She reminded me of my mom, like and like my mom was like very sarcastic, very dry, but also like, you know, like picked herself up by her bootstraps and did her thing and figured it out. You know, became a social worker, and then also worked a second job as a realty agent, and like just, you know, she did it all, she figured it out, right? And I always looked up to her because of that, because I saw like, you know, what she did, and I thought Roseanne was kind of the same space, but then she gets older and just like goes straight like hardcore, crazy conservative, and it's heartbreaking. Really, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's always disappointing to find out someone that you like or look up to, you know, has like disappointing values. I guess.
No, I have a friend. I told you the story. My friend went on a date with this girl, and he goes, "It's going really well." And she was awesome. She was like, "They have everything in common," and then she just goes like, "Yeah," and I can't believe that the damn liberals took the election. and goes off about it for like, and then that became the entire topic the rest of the time they were hanging out, and it was like apparently it was just insane, like it was insanity apparently, and she's like, yeah, and then they ran into one of his friends. His friend is a conservative, but he's liberal socially, and then she goes, oh, I can't stand liberals. Why would you say that word around me? And like start foaming at the mouth, like so there was no second date, but like it just. He goes like, it was so disappointing. I had that happen once. I met a girl, she was cool, and like I was like, all right, great. And it was Trump is the best president I've ever had. I'm like, why would you think that? like the thing is, and I'm
check, please.
I think,
Look at that check.
I think it's cool to believe what everyone believe. I don't think necessarily liberals or like anyone have it figured out either. But when you're so hardcore that you're hating people, you got to look at that for a second. Like this is the party that claims to be like Christian, and yet they're like pushing hate and false narratives and lies regularly. Not saying they both don't do it, but it just feels like to me like, have they not stopped and looked in the mirror of like what they're actually saying, what they're pushing?
They believe it.
Yeah, but why do they believe it? Like why? Like common sense should tell you some of this stuff is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know.
I have my theories, but they're not very PC.
What's your theory? Well, this is not a PC show. What's your theory?
This is not a PC show.
No, it's not. What's your theory?
I think that it all has to do with exposure and what you choose to expose yourself to, and the experiences and cultures you expose yourself to.
It sounds PC.
So far. No, I mean, even statistically, like, liberal democratic people tend to have, like, higher levels of education and tend to live in bigger cities where you're going to get more exposure to different cultures and different people and everything. So, I mean, if you're living in one of these, like, more conservative bubbles, you're not going to get that exposure, and you're not going to be as sympathetic or empathetic maybe to the plight of other people. And I tend to feel like that favors conservative ideas.
How does that happen, though? Like, what you just
What
lose?
do you mean?
Because like, okay, you start as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Kind of raised like, hey, love everybody, you know, treat everybody equally, and like share and all that stuff. Like, what happens where it gets broken down, where you lose that baseline of like, oh, I should be being a good person, oh, I should be looking out for people, and not forcing my ideals.
Well, you know, there's this company called YouTube.
Oh, I hate them. So,
Yeah.
I hate them so much.
I don't think that they see it that way. Like, I don't know, most of my family's conservative. And we'll have these arguments, and they just see it as they're protecting their own rights and their own families, and, you know, like, sorry that other people are getting screwed over, but that's not really my problem. Like, they can pick themselves up and do the same thing if they want to.
I think we all seek positive reinforcement too, right? Like if you find a community of conservative people, like they're probably sitting around having a very similar conversation. Like, how can you think it's okay for a man to wear a dress, you know? And then like everybody laughs, and all of a sudden like everybody's having a good time. And, yeah, it's just you know, you find your bubbles, like you said, and you just within those you find, you know. You find validation for your viewpoints, I guess.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a new topic. This is going to be a Choose Your Own Adventure. Choose Your Own Adventure piece where we are going to talk about dating red flags. You have to pick 3.
I have to pick 3.
3 red flags that you cannot deal with ever from a person. So we'll do that when Alex gets back. So while we wait, I'm going to do a quick ad drop for the new schedule for streaming. So I've already mentioned before that I'm going to start streaming now, going on Tuesdays at 6:30 Central every single Tuesday, and we'll just go until you guys are done with me. Really, it's kind of the goal. But I just want to get like sanctioned down to one day, so you guys have something to look forward to every week, and you keep coming back, and I get bigger numbers. I'm going to make videos regularly on that day as well, so I get a push out for that video. So I'll go, all right, this video's out. Boom, at the very end, there will always be a note that goes, we are streaming today at 6:30 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. And I'm just excited about it because I want to finally, get back to a regular cadence instead of being like, all right, I do it every now and again, or I pop in every now and again. I want to get this to be like a pretty standard part of your life. So I think with the world being what it is now, with like no one really watching network TV and streaming being optimal, I'm excited to have people to actually come and like watch the show and hang out long term. So if you guys have any opinions on that, feel free to share it in the chat. But I just wanted to throw it out there as something of an ad drop because I'm going to be promoting the Twitch more than ever. I will still be streaming on YouTube, but I want to get people over to Twitch as much as possible. So it's got the goal. I want to try to, make real money on this instead of just scamming the government.
Do that often?
And I'm kidding. I just thought that was a good thing to say.
Scamming the government.
Scamming the government. Yeah, you came back to the best part. No. All right, we're going to go over 3 dating red flags, 3 things you cannot have in a person. And we're each going to have to go round table and do it. But I'm not going to start. Go.
You're not going to start?
Should we do all 3 or one at a time?
Ooh. One time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
I know the first thing that comes to mind is just kind of like rude people. Like the stereotypical like rude to the waiter or like disrespectful. Can't deal with that. You need somebody who's nice and respectful to everybody. So.
That's a good one. This might be more specific than what you're looking for, but I couldn't really date a woman who doesn't like movies.
I can see. No, dude, that's perfect. That's great.
I
No.
can't do it.
Honestly,
It's not like a personality flaw, but like I love movies. I can't be with someone who doesn't care about movies.
I watched that show, Married at First Sight, and this guy, he like loved the 80s, and the woman that he put him with was just like was roasting him for it, like hard. And I'm like, I could never be with somebody who didn't appreciate the thing I appreciated the most. Like,
yeah,
it'd be
or at
really
least like
hard.
casually, right?
Or casually,
Or
right?
respects it or whatever.
Would you prefer that the person loves movies too, or is it okay if they just respect it?
It could be either. Like, it could be a person who's just open to movies, right? Because it's fun to share the thing you really like. And also, movie people can be, like rough with each other, right? Like, because when you're that passionate, like, you, like, actually butt heads over your passions. But, I mean, yeah, either one. I mean, it could be a variety of things. But just not the person who's like, oh, yeah, I don't really like movies. Because I've met plenty of those people, and they can be great people, but... Can you imagine like getting up every day and being like, "Oh man, I really want to talk about this new movie I saw," and they're just kind of like, "Yeah, I don't care about that."
Care about that.
Yeah,
I got this potato.
just waiting for you to shut up.
That's good. No, I think I don't want to go more broad or more specific in the first one. I'll go broad. For me, it's anger. Like someone like gets really angry. Because so angry. So angry easily.
That'd be a turnoff too, though.
What? They talk like that?
Yeah.
Is it this baby talk?
Yeah.
like I want
That's a red flag.
I want some apples.
I'm so angry.
I'm so angry. Where's my juicy box? Right,
Don't you have bottles that you drink out of?
I have baby bottles I drink out of. Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys have those friends who like couple friends who do like the baby talk thing? Because I totally have friends like that. And it's hard to watch.
Schmoopy.
Yeah.
Schmoopy.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Let's see. Always goes controlling / jealous, excessive nagger, too uptight. You stole one of mine. Yeah, anger for me just is a no go. Like I'm pretty chill, and I get angry. I think when it's justified. I will get angry about like principle, right?
Yeah.
That's it. But like I don't like rage and start yelling and start flipping out. I'm just hurt more than anything else. And so like when somebody like starts yelling or starts like name calling, that all is like a big no go for me. So like if I see it in a trading people, whether they're mad at me or not, I can't do it. All right. 2.
Not to play off our politics conversation, but
Sure.
I generally tend to avoid people that are hyper conservative. But mostly like when it manifests as intolerance, like racism, homophobia, transphobia, anything like that. That's a no go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are good red flags.
Yeah.
Have you ever been with anyone who was? Or you found out while you were dating?
Yes. But like I don't know, like racism in that like I feel like there's still a lot of people that think it's like okay to be racist against certain groups of people, like Indian people in particular. Like I don't like how their food smells.
Native
like
American
they're
or
stinky.
Indian?
No, Indian, like Southern Asian
Gotcha.
Indian.
Oh, sure.
So I've been with people like that, or like I don't know, more recently in my dating history, like people who end up being like transphobic, because that's still something I feel that is not as widely accepted. So I think that's the most common one that I've had to deal with.
And having like a real resurgence lately, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
we'll be hearing a lot more of that, I think, in the 2024 like election
Oh
cycle.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm sure.
I mean,
Really sucks.
that whole Bud Light thing, I was like,
Yeah.
this is the
They're really
stupidest
going hard,
thing
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
ever heard in my life. I know it's like a part of the whole culture wars, but I'm like, guys, it's beer. They're just trying to sell beer. They're trying to sell beer.
Not good beer.
It's
either.
not good beer. Right? It's like,
Yeah.
like they're trying to sell beer, and
Yeah.
they only get more market share. To our last conversation
Right,
too about
yeah.
that, so they want to up it. So like, yeah, let's support it. And but people, I think in this chat one time they were like, well, yeah, look at like who the people are who are their primary consumers, and they're not comfortable with that. And I'm like, cool, still just a beer. Like, it's not gonna change the world. It's not gonna like, oh man, if you drink this beer, you're gonna turn gay. Oh no, like, you know what I mean? It's not a thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't. And why does somebody have to be comfortable with a lifestyle that's not their own?
Right.
Like, just don't.
It doesn't matter.
Pay
It
attention
shouldn't
to
matter.
it.
It doesn't matter, right? Like,
Doesn't
cool.
affect you.
Close your eyes.
Right.
Right. Or just buy the beer that doesn't have the branding on it for pride. And these same companies, but like,
Yeah, if you're really so sensitive that like a rainbow colored can is
Yeah.
gonna get at you, then like you got some bigger issues.
my favorite thing though is that
really.
like Bud Light, and it's because we're in Chicago, has always sponsored the Gay Pride Parade, and they have giant Bud Light banners that are like covered in the rainbow flag already, and it's been a thing. If you go to any Pride festival, they always have Bud Light. Always.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, every macro brewery has done an LGBT campaign, even if it's just like a rainbow can or whatever. They've all done it. And if that's a problem for you, then you can't drink any macro brewery beer, which is most beers.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then you can't drink microbrewery beers because microbrewers are like, the most liberal fucking people you're ever gonna meet in your life.
Yeah.
They're like hipster artists as
They're in
as
Denver.
chemists.
They're in
basically.
Denver.
Yeah.
They're in freaking
Yeah.
Denver.
Chicago,
Yeah.
Denver, New York, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So California. I mean, it's just
Or like any hard liquor for that matter. I mean, there's so many.
yeah, hard liquor maybe not as much because
I thought
whiskey
like-
country is pretty.
Yeah, but like Jack Daniels did something that was making them angry, and then they're smashing their Jack
I
Daniels
think you're right.
bottles.
Yeah, you're right.
I know
about
like
that.
Svedka and some of the big vodkas have done pride
100%.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it goes to show you, though, at the end of the day, it goes to show you that there really are more people who are accepting than there are people who aren't, because businesses don't do shit like that unless they know it's going to make them money.
Right.
Right? Why did Nike have Colin Kaepernick as a spokesperson?
Right.
Because it was good business.
People were behind him, so they're like,
Yeah.
we're up for
more,
this.
more people supported it.
Heck yeah, that's what Nike did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so red flag.
Okay. A little shit talking is good, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody likes some good
Yeah.
gossip.
Yeah.
But when you're dating somebody who shit talks everybody all the time, I think that's a red flag. Because then it's like, all right, so you're always talking shit, like not really reflecting that back on yourself, and not to mention like, so what do you say about me?
Right, no, I get that.
Right.
I get 100%.
Like,
other
spill the
people.
tea.
Yeah. So.
I think that's saying, well, not the same thing, but we'll see what happens. Selfishness is like also a thing too. Like you can witness that with people. You can tell that they're mostly thinking about themselves. They're not as giving. They're not as even worried about like what they do might affect other people. Yeah, just I think straight up small microwave selfishness, and that's just you can see it because they're less likely to be giving or comforting or nurturing because they're just worried about what they need, what they get out of it. And they're not even self-aware enough, I think, sometimes to know they're being selfish. But I do think it's a pretty primary trait. You can see it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Last but not least.
I'll go more shallow with this one, but just like bad personal hygiene, like smelly people, dirty clothes. Doesn't do it for me.
That's probably like a bigger issue for women than for men, right? Like I think as a whole, like women probably have better hygiene than men.
Most of the time.
Maybe.
Culturally reinforced
Yeah.
norms, I guess. Yeah, no, I can totally see that. Trying to think. It's probably good that I don't have that many like red flags just stored up, ready to go.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Somebody who just like doesn't doesn't give your friends a chance, or like at least doesn't feel like it's worth their time to try to like get along with your friends and close people, right?
Like that. Yeah,
I think that's important.
that is important.
Yeah.
You don't have to like everybody you like, but like make
No.
the effort.
Yeah, no
Right.
effort, right? You're like, well, I don't want to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there before.
And that certainly goes both ways.
No, I agree with that. I was like, my last one. You took one of mine, and he took one of
Did
mine.
I?
Yeah, but actually, I honestly would say probably for me, just because like I'm pretty friendly with most people. Like jealousness is a very big one up there for me because
Yeah.
I'm always gonna like be the person like that has like a lot of female friends, and I am always gonna be like the person who's always very like open and personable. And I like meeting people, and I like giving compliments, making people feel good. It makes me feel good to do so, right? So I just feel like if you're like really jealous or
Like insecure, right?
Insecure,
Like
right.
jealous / insecure, I
Right.
guess, kind of goes hand in hand.
yeah, because I mean I've had an ex like that before, and she was great except for that, and that's the only reason why it didn't work out. I was like it sucks because like she just couldn't be okay with the fact that like I was gonna be friends with people, and I'm like these are just my friend. I'm good about like making a separation. Argued with this chat before about men and women being able to be friends. And I'll probably round it up by asking that question to you guys. Do you think that men and women can actually be friends? Or do you think there's always going to be some level of sexual tension or something like nefarious going on?
I think it depends.
Okay.
I think it's possible.
Is it what, though? What's it
I
depend
don't
on?
think it's common.
You don't think it's common?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think I know that you can be friends with women,
Right.
but I don't think that you interact with women the way most people
How do I
do.
interact with women?
You flirt with women.
I don't flirt with women.
You 100% do.
Do I? Who do I flirt with?
Every woman.
Okay, what
You're
is,
the most flirtatious man I've
what,
ever met.
what is flirting? What is flirting? More than Eric?
Yeah, well, him too.
Eric's wait, no, wait. What is flirting? Define flirting. Because I feel like I'm just like
can't
being
define
nice.
it.
Yeah,
you
it's more
can.
of a
But you're
vibe.
like being nice. Do you think, oh, I'm just gonna compliment this woman on what she's wearing, or
Right.
like how her hair looks, or whatever? And
Right.
like women don't receive that type of attention unless it's from a man who's making an advance. So like you
Ever?
think you're just being nice. I mean, unless it comes from you, apparently. But like, I can't remember a time when I've been complimented by a man and it's just been like genuinely like, oh, I really just like your shirt. Like, you like my shirt? Okay.
It's also
Like,
it's
what?
also tough because as soon as you make that compliment, it's like he's seen my boobs.
Right?
All right, Chris is having a flirting intervention.
No, not an intervention. No one wants anything to stop here.
I invited them here. For record. Yo, Chris, you need to talk.
Yeah.
I have this banner.
Alex,
Fan waiting outside.
play. Never mind, he's canceled. I don't. Making moves major. What? I don't even know what that means. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone should be like forthcoming and like if I like your shirt, it's probably I like the pattern or I like the anime character you're probably wearing on it when I say it. And you know, like I see
I
a
know,
guy.
but you're in the minority.
But when I see guys, I'm like, yo, I like that shirt. And he goes, hey, thanks, man. I was walking down the street one time. I was wearing a regular purple shirt, and some guy was like walking with his toilet paper, and he's like, hey, man, I like that shirt. I was like, this shirt is normal. Thanks. Let's keep it going. I was like, it was good. Was he flirting with me because he did that?
Okay.
Just answer the question.
No, the context matters.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, as a woman who interacts with men, that like if a man stops me in a bar and compliments me, I'm gonna assume it's a pickup attempt until there's some clue to the contrary.
What if I just go, hey, I like your shirt, and I just walk away, which is what I normally do.
Then I'd be like, oh, that's weird.
Oh, that's weird?
Yeah.
That's like a genuinely kind of strange human interaction, right? Like, do you go up to a dude and be like, bro, I really like your shirt, and then just pivot 180 and fuck off?
Right?
Actually, yes.
It's not the start of a conversation.
You know what's funny? I was wearing a shirt. Oh, this is embarrassing a little bit. Oh, this is an embarrassing moment. There you go.
Is it?
Not really. I was wearing this shirt that says, I'm just going to say it out loud, guys. I had a shirt that says, I eat
I
ass.
knew it.
Yeah,
I
that's the
did.
one.
This
That's
is
the
the
one.
one,
That's the one. That's the one.
Didn't that tank top essentially end your last relationship?
It didn't end it. It didn't. It didn't end it. No, I wore it on Pride, and we went out during Pride, and we got into a fight because I was wearing a shirt, and this woman was talking about it, and she's like, "I love that shirt. That's great." And then she was like, "Do you have someone that you eat her ass?" and I go,
His lady was less than thrilled.
and I go, she won't let me. And then the girl was like, let her eat your ass, sir. Ma'am, let her eat your ass. It became a whole thing. It was really funny. It was funny. So we
Yeah.
did not.
I mean,
no,
you threw
no.
her under the bus.
Huh?
You threw her under the bus.
Yeah, I did because it was funny. It was funny. It was like and we laughed about it, and then we got into a fight about it later, but we didn't. That's not what ended it. No. But it was a big talking point at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I wore that shirt out earlier in the day, and this random dude was like, "Yo, man, I love that shirt. I got complimented on that shirt by more dudes than anyone else. Random dudes like, yeah, man, hell yeah, high five."
It was very funny.
It was
bold.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Yeah. So I think that like that's fine.
I'm not saying that complimenting somebody's shirt is flirting with them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying in the interactions I've observed between you and women,
Mm-hmm.
you come across as flirtatious.
Okay. I'll hold that L.
I think it's very subjective. I don't think there's an objective definition or example you can make per se.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that. I'm curious. All right. So men and women can't really be friends?
I disagree with that. I actually
Yeah.
completely, I 100% think that men and women can be friends.
Because Steve Harvey doesn't think you can.
Yeah, Steve Harvey is a terrible person. So
Is he really? What do you
Yeah,
do?
sucks, man. This an old-fashioned sexist. Yeah.
He is,
And
right?
a dick.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
No, I mean, men and women can be friends, man. Like just like anybody else. I think that there are people who aren't mature enough for that.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're under the assumption that every man wants to have sex with every woman he's ever had more than 3 words with, which actually may be true.
Right.
But like, you're saying that you're not mature enough to get past that if that's not on the table. I think that's stupid, and I think that's not but like the
Right.
general your problem.
Right.
Like,
No.
Yeah.
you know, I have female friends that I value them tremendously.
Yeah.
I think they're great people.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have them in my life.
Yeah.
You
And-
know,
and
I haven't had sex with any of them,
Right.
and it's fine.
Right.
No, I think, you know, I think that some people really can't get past that, but like
Yeah.
that's your problem.
Yeah,
you know.
the talking point that Steve Harvey makes is that he's like, you know, like he gonna think about it. Like as soon as you're single, watch what happens. And I'm like, I have a lot of female friends that become single, and I'll just jump on the first train going. Like, all right, it's time. Finally, it's my turn to get in here. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a thing.
Yeah, but there are dudes like that.
There are dudes like that. I think in some,
is that the majority? Sorry.
I think to some extent, part of the problem is, and like, you know, I'm a single person, like, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail to some extent, right? Like, if you're a single person and your friend's a single person, then yeah, you probably do think about it to some extent. Like, you know,
It's
is
an
this an
option.
opportunity? Yeah,
Yeah.
this person I already like is also of the gender that I hope to partner with.
Right.
But, like, I think it sucks if you let that ruin, you know, the ability to have a friendship.
Right.
Because, like, who wants to only be friends with dudes? I know
Right.
this man
I
doesn't.
do not. I don't like most dudes. Like if you're my friend and you're a dude, you're in a very like selective special club. You are. Most dudes suck. It's my opinion. All right, so making moves major. Steve Harvey is an old school, not a bad person. Let's see. If there's any level of physical attraction, you can conduct yourself as friends, but realistically, there's always a possibility that given the right circumstances, it can go down.
I think that's kind of true, but like then you're just saying that about any two people who share a, you know,
Right.
basic sexual attraction.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, right. Yeah. Like the option's open to some degree, but like I think for some people though, you have like put down a like hard line of like this is not a person I want to be with, and I don't care what the situation is, it's not happening. And I
Right.
think that's kind of how I operate. It's like I just lay that boundary down, it just stays there. Like I mentioned this before, like I have a friend, we're like she's like one of my best friends now. We dated for a little bit, but we came to the conclusion that we don't work that way, and now it's awkward that we ever even did anything in the first place. It feels unnatural, even. You know
Sure.
what I mean? And that's just kind of where my brain makes that like leap. So I just would hope that everyone else can too.
Yeah.
So that's why I guess that's why I assume that it's not a thing. All right, let's see. So plot twist: Chris is flirting with them both,
And it's working.
and now it's and on that note, the podcast is over. All right, I'm gonna do any parting words for the people who are watching or will hear this in the future.
I stand with the WGA, and I hope that I hope the writers get, you know, at least most of their concessions, and that we can all go back to enjoying some quality entertainment written by people who were paid fairly to do so.
Word.
Nice. Parting words. Don't be mean to waiters, or you won't get many dates. Cheers.
Well, certainly won't get many second dates.
unless that person has a very specific kink.
Oh, that'd be a weird one.
I'm sure there's somebody who gets turned on by them people being rude to waiters.
You think?
There has to be
I
somebody.
think 100%.
There has to be someone who's like, ooh,
that
yeah,
exists.
ooh, yeah, only tip 10%. Ooh.
But that's a very not only that would be a specific kink in general, but not only do they get off on people being rude to waiters, but it's not even them, right? It's not like they get off on doing it. They get off on seeing someone else do it.
It's like
They're
a
really
it's
into
like a
Karens, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they want
yeah.
their significant other going into stores, like yelling at the customer service people.
Yeah. I mean,
All
The
that.
honestly,
manager must be invoked.
Yes. Oh, that's like the ultimate king. Like you speak to the manager.
love it.
Oof.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for coming. My final word is, please return back to support me on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., 6:30 Central, every Tuesday. I'll be doing a live stream, and it's going to be great. I'm going to actually produce a real show and put things together and make it very, very, very interactive. So come back here on Twitch at twitch.tv/nerdmotivation or YouTube, conveniently at nerdyvideos.com. So look for me there, and thank you both for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, and thanks
Yeah,
to everybody for tuning in.
All right, I'm just gonna stop recording now. Let's still leave it up for a second so we can talk after shows. All right, Chris is getting a flaming cherry. What? What? I just saw that. What? Chris is getting a flaming cherry nut tat.
I'll take
next
them and pay
episode.
for it.
Yeah, I'm good. All right, great guest as usual. The host is okay too. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You're part of this show too. I was gonna do a call-in show this go around, and then I
That'd be
forgot.
cool. Oops.
I'll do it next time.
Like actual phone call?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I use Google Voice number,
Oh, nice.
and then
I
just
like
call, shoot my phone, or I can bring it up on the screen. So I think I'll do that next show. I'll do call-in show, so people can call in, ask questions, and generally harass me. I did it one time. Somebody just kept calling and hanging up. It was really fun.
Baba Booey.
I get bored sometimes, and I'll go look up those old C-SPAN pranks.
Oh my
People
God.
call C-SPAN.
Yeah.
Okay, people
Yeah.
call. Oh, you're young. I
I'm not that young.
don't know. Child.
I also have a law degree. I know the political channel.
You're Gen Z. So yeah.
Okay.
So no, yeah, but people call in and go, Baba Booey, Howard Stern has a tiny cock, but give him the air is great. I don't know. I also used to watch a lot of public access TV.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found my favorite shows, just jump in and just watch them. Is that still a thing?
I
know.
think yes, actually, but cable's been so diluted at this point that it's just
So, fun fact, my brother actually had a show on public access called Message to the Black Man.
You have a brother?
I have two brothers. Yeah, actually, yeah, two half brothers. Yeah,
How old are they?
I'm not sure. They're 50 and 60 something.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why.
No, that's-
Wow,
no,
I
that's why.
guess I had
Yeah.
no idea. I
No.
met your sister.
Yeah. You know what's wild about that is that I have nephews who are from my brother, who's they're 25, 24, and 21, which is nuts.
Oh, well.
Insane.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. So So
I mean, they're closer in age to you than your
yeah.
brothers.
I'm closer to them. I barely know my brothers.
Sure.
We talk, but we're like, hey,
Yeah,
DNA.
yeah.
My oldest brother, however, is weird. Me and him have much more in common personality-wise, so he and I get along instantly. My other brother just kind of milk toast. He's just kind of
Yeah, he's just a guy.
this guy,
Yeah.
the guy with the thing. So yeah,
Huh.
yeah, but yeah, a show on public access called Message to the Black Man. They produced. He's a black Muslim, and so
Okay.
yeah, so he would help produce that show. And I got to go see the show be made, and it was really interesting. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
it kind of halfway got me into film, which is a weird turnaround. Because I started doing YouTube and stuff because I like making stuff, but I haven't really made anything truly creative in a very, very long time. But I just shot a short film with my friend.
Did you?
Yeah. I actually have it sold on camera. It's about her dog. It's a small stage play, but it's 2 minutes long. But,
Oh.
Yeah. But she's been wanting to do it forever. So yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Nice.
All right. I'm gonna export out as MP3. So let's see.
Is it still recording?
Yeah, are we
No.
still on stream or?
We're still on stream. We're just not on. I'm not recording the actual audio.
Oh, okay.
All right, someone wrote gay sex. That's cool. The Goofy Goober. I don't know what that has to do with anything. All right, but we're gonna now not be on streams. We don't have any questions you may want to talk about before I drop. You have 5 seconds to do it.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's also a small delay, so let's start counting now. So Ketchup doesn't tell me to hang up.
Oh, good.
Bye.